I need like one of those guys here with a big giant leaf fan. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. This is episode 32, July Dye Project. And you'll have to excuse I've been misting myself because it is so hot in here. It's so hot and it's only 12:39 and it's so hot in here. It was like 80 at 9 o'clock, so I don't even know how hot it is now. It's hot. I am wearing cropped version of my tops. Have you ever seen the back of them? They're just cute little tops. This base is from a Knit Crate subscription. It's called, the colorway is called Tiger Lily Vitellana Lofty DK. 274 yards per 100 grams. It is 48% merino, 32% cotton, and 20% alpaca. It is a chainette. Oh yes. let's try not to go off the rails today. Okay, so we do have a finished item, which was the Cascade 220 mint crop. I think it's mint. You'll have to check I have the number because they don't give you a name to the color on the band. It's just a number. But then in listings they'll give you a name, so it's kind of like whatever. Because that's what they do with my rose too, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. This was a last minute project last month that we cast on, and it was done that same day. We finished everything. The shorts and the top got finished that last day on the 30th. Everything was finished. So that's finished. A lot of crop tops this month. Whips. So I have one whip for you, and that is the fingering weight version of Linda that we have done on Mitchell's Creations Blackened Seasoning. And this is how much we've got done so far. Actually looks pretty nice with my orange, doesn't it? You know, I've been working on this this is the 7th day because I started on day 1. So this is actually the 6th day because day 1, 2 would be day 1, would be the first full day. So, right. My brain is not working today. Okay. It's great that we don't have anything important to talk about. So, I am not sure. I mean, I love this colorway. It's not my colors at all. I do not like orange, yellow, and red. I do not like warm colors. But I think it is a wonderful skein. I can appreciate the beauty of these colors that I don't like. So I wanted to talk to you because we are at the very last repeat here. Actually, Linda's going to be front and center for a little while. So here's Linda. See, I went a little bit cohesive with the colorways here. So Linda fingering weight. Okay, so our entire skein was 105.01 grams. How's that for giving us some extra yardage? Nice, right? Okay, so this is the 7th repeat. Oh, should we put her this way? Let's put her this way. Okay. So here's the 7th repeat, which I'm going to show you. Ready for these? can you see? How did I usually do it? This way I usually do this? So I can get it to, there we go. But now I can't read it because it's backwards. So we cast on the, I'm giving you the pattern. Look at the pattern for Linda. So our first repeat, let's go here. Our first repeat was, I don't know, 102.41 right here. So you can see what each one did us. Here's our list of our weight. This is a weight of the remainder of our skein. And then this is how much that first repeat took, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So you see we're left with 20. And since we have 20 and our last repeat, come back, our last repeat was 21, we can't do another repeat. We don't have enough. So what I did was I went back and looked at the end of the original Eleanor, because what we're going to do here is we don't just work till we're done. We like the Hillary verse season 1s that were off the top down Hillary's, like Carrie, Michelle, Ruth. Those all had so many rows at the bottom before we bound off. Remember, we did 3 knit rows. We did 3 garter ridges. We did 3 garter ridges before we went off on those. So for these ones, I only did 2 because they're thick. But on these, I'm going to do 3. Okay? But since the return pass, seriously, now they're sawing stuff. Since these are fingering weight, I'm still going to do 3 garter ridges. The only difference is, because this is already garter, our last return pass from this, remember, because we're this edge, this point, is kind of where we focus on. So that's our back and forth, okay? So our return pass from this last row will give us a garter ridge. So I'm on the wrong side. It looks prettier on the wrong side, I guess. So that one's going to give us, seriously? That is bizarre that I prefer this side. Well, that's probably going to change how I design it then. I got to think about this. Because that last pass gives us the garter ridge. It doesn't matter, really. That last return from the mesh lace, that return will give us a garter ridge. So that's garter ridge 1. So in reality, we only have to do 2 garter ridges. So that's going to mess up our ending here, which is what I wanted to show you. Was this, remember how I told you I do them 1, 2, and 3? So 3, why did I do 3, 2, 3? Well, that's weird. Let's count it down. Because usually I circle them. Okay, there, now they're circled. So our first knit one, garter ridge, is actually going to be the last mesh row. So then, because you do that and then you have to do another knit row to come back to the point, because we're always starting at the point. So when you come to the point, that gives you another garter ridge. So our back at the point is going to give us 2, do another knit row down to the point. From the point gives us 3. Then we got to come back down to the point to do our bind off, okay? So what I did over here was I took a note that my bind off for the original Eleanor was 1.47. And then these were just the last ones. Like my last one was 157 when I actually did the bind off from 157. So these are all my last, so it should give me an idea when I come here planning her her ending, which means I'm probably gonna work her till another 10 grams, and then once I hit 10 grams I'm gonna keep track, because then it looks like I need to start at like 5-ish, 4-ish. So we'll see how we get there to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave her here because we actually have some talking to do about dye project with her. So I want to keep her here for a little bit. Remember our June dye projects were the shorts, the top, crop top, shorts, the crop top, and Lola Sweater. So I'm going to show you first the crop top. This was Andes, Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks. And we got full, you can't even see, but we got full coverage. Even in the, there's no red left at all. I did these two in a pot together. Here's Lola Sweater. I've already weaved in ends on these. So here's Lola Sweater, which you can't see, but it is a black. And look at that. Can you see that? That ribbing. You can't see the ribbing. Maybe it would focus on the ribbing. No? Okay. Anyway. Black, black, black. Even her, even the increases got covered. I mean, I can see a little bit of red poking through. Not the red that it was, but like a darker maroony red. Almost black. It's like when your blacks are black but they have a tint. You know, I've talked to you about this before. Blue blacks. It just looks like a reddish, brownish black. But I don't see any spots. And I would expect to have resist there because of, I don't have a lighter one to show you, of how the increases are. Those are center double increases. I don't know. They're done back, front of the stitch, back in the stitch, and then back into the under something. It's a weird thing, but I absolutely, it's so decorative. I love it. Anyway, great. I actually haven't tried this on yet, but I did block them, of course, after they were dyed. I blocked them. So what I want to say is, in addition to all the things I told you last month about how to prepare this, I want to add in blocking. And I know that sounds counterintuitive because, Christina, we block it, we're just going to get it wet again. That's fine. That's fine. But you need that original stretch before you put it back in the pot. I'm telling you, do it. Okay, so those two came out fine. The shorts. Again, the shorts. Shorts did not come out fine. I mean, they are now because I fixed them, but I did have some spots that were bare. And what happened was I did not block them. What I should have done is after I soaked them and before I put them in a pot, I should have zhuzhed them. You know, zhuzh like this, zhuzh. And I had some spots along the ribbing that did not go, which is weird because you see the ribbing on that one got covered fine. I think it's because it was a smaller yarn, so the yarn doesn't have as much surface area as a worsted weight to pull it in. That's what I think. That's why I'm saying if you are going to over dye, I would block first, like really block it, because do you remember what the tops of the shorts looked like before? They were like shrunken in, right? And now they're not, now they're laying flat. So if I had blocked them and then put them in water, I think I would have had a better outcome. Not that it was a bad outcome, it was just a little bit extra work for me. I had to go in and find those spots and spritz them, and then I steam the whole thing. This is so much dog hair. How does this have dog hair on it already? Anyway, I wanted to talk about I knew you weren't going to be able to see anything about them once they were done. Like, ridiculous. I have it sewn in the ends because the butt does not have enough coverage for me, and the legs are a little bit too loose around, you know, the leg part. I think the crotch wedge is okay. I think those numbers are okay. So I think what I need to do is add some extra stitches next time to the back part. The front is fine. I think the front is perfectly fine, but the back, I want to add. It didn't make sense in the pattern to me that the front and back were the same, because like my back's bigger than my front, right? Like I don't need all that stretch. And the back was low. The back is low on my back when I fold over the top. So I'm going to do some redesigning before I do my next one, because I want them to fold over at the same place. Because of how I wear them low on my hips, it is the same place. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. And then I'm going to add extra stitches to the back side. And I'm going to do more short rows to give me some extra inches. And then I think what I'm going to do, because the pattern had me pick up so many along the crotch wedge. I'm showing you like you can see it. And I actually added in one extra because I needed a stitch count that was 4 to do the ribbing. And that meant that I picked up, because everything else was on a live stitch. Okay, and the pattern says like pick up 14, I think, and I picked up 15 because I needed that extra one to make up for the stitch counts that I had lessened. So that meant I picked up every other stitch, and it really doesn't look terrible. It really doesn't. It might be fine, but I was thinking of going back and picking up every 3 of every 4 like you're supposed to, and then on my second rounds doing a decrease before starting the ribbing, because I'm going to be adding stitches to the butt part that I don't need, because these legs are already huge and they come up too high on the back of my leg, and my butt hangs out. And I did not want booty shorts. I wanted something that would come down and kind of hug my butt a little bit. So I think I got to add a few more, maybe an extra inch, ½ inch, and pull it up. And then I think if I cinch in those legs, it'll be fine. So I had about 56 grams left from that. So I'm going to, here's my thinking. I'm eventually going to dye this to match, and then I'm going to undo the shorts once I figure out how to fix them. Like, I'm thinking of making another in the sport with my changes, and then working those changes into those, because it's already made. But I'm going to need more yarn, so I was thinking I might use 6 grams of this to fix it, and then that would be 50 grams, and I could probably make a top. I could probably figure out a top from that. So that's, I think I'm going to do this, because I'm not entirely sure that this matches the new stuff I got, which we're going to talk about later in the episode, but I'm going to keep this out for that. You want to hear the math? Okay, so Wool of the Andes, the crop top, and Lola Sweater, I put in a pot together, and I dyed those at a 4% depth of shade True Black from Dharma. So because together they were 250 grams, that gave me 100 grams. It was 4 grams of True Black from Dharma, plus some citric acid. You can do an overdye of 5% black, either one. If you're kind of worried about it, I would go ahead and go 5. Because whatever doesn't take is just going to wash out. It's no big deal. Okay, so then The shorts, though, because I had 56 left, I just went ahead and said they were 150 grams because, seriously, those I should have gone with a 5. Because on bare, I should have gone with a 5. I really should have. But I didn't. I went with a 4. And since it was 150 grams, I went with 6 grams of True Black, Dharma's True Black. So, otherwise it would have been 7.5 for, if we wanted to do 5% for 1.5. So it's just 1.5. 4 plus half. Half of 4 is 2, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Did not put those on the whiteboard because I don't think that's necessary. Okay, so remember to block your items in the smaller weights of yarn. I think it's just harder for the, that's my first sport weight. I think that's the first thing in sport weight I ever, no, I made some shawls, right? My Oink pigment was sport. So I've made like 3 shawls. That's the extent of my experience with sport weight, because I kind of don't know what to do. It's kind of in between fingering and DK, and I don't know what to do with that. Like, I don't know what to do with that. I did wear the shorts the other night before I re-dyed them to kind of make sure they were all stretched out so I could easily reapply the dye. It's so hot. And I just use the spritzer. I should probably should have used the sprayer. I used the spritzer, and then all yesterday I'm like, why does my finger hurt? I don't know. Like, my finger was hurting because you're like a million times. So if you use a sprayer, but I like the spritzer, gives you more, fingertip sprayer gives you more control than the, I don't know what you call those ones. Okay, so then we have July dye projects. Are you ready to see July projects? Because I do have the whiteboard ready for that. I'm going to actually start with some stuff that wasn't on the menu. Where are you? Okay, so we know that one of the things on the menu definitely was DK Eleanor, right? But then my sport weight got here, and I said, let's do sport and DK Linda. Okay? I don't know why I just tried to make that better when I just made it look worse. So I did. So let me show you. This is DK Weight Linda. And this is a gold that is actually tonal, and I don't even think you can see, but you see those mustardy part. It looks like shadow, but it's actually mustardy parts. Mustardy parts and some yellow. Like, see right there, you can see mustardy parts and yellow. That's not shadow. It looks like shadow, but it's not. Okay, so what I did for Linda DK, this was a full immersion, okay? What I mean by that is that the skein was fully submerged. The skein was fully under the water. And I did 2 processes to get this gold, and this gold was, I didn't write down what the gold was. Hold on. Ah, damn it. I have it right here. Oh my God. $85 and $15. Okay, so This gold that we made for Linda DK was 85% bright yellow and 15% teddy bear brown, which I wanted a 0.2% depth of shade for those, which meant whatever that is, 0.21 and 0.04 grams. So that's what we mixed first. And how I did this is I used my 3 pans. I have three pans that go into my steamer. I have a, what do you call it? The, catering steam pans, right? So I have a steamer thing that you can put pans in, and I have a full-size pan, and then I have 2 half pans, and I have 3 third pans. So I did 3 because we were doing 3 skeins. So I said each one. So what I did first is I took the skein, dry, with just this little silicone loop on it. It's like a zip tie, silicone zip tie. And I put it in the water. I just turned the machine on. The machine takes like an hour and a half to warm up. So I just put this in the water, same as the other Linda. Both of them were getting full immersion. So I put it in the water, let the water heat up, and then when the water was almost ready to go, I pull these out with my tongs, pull them out, and put them in a bowl. And then I put the dye in the pan, the third pan, and then I take a little battery-powered milk frother, and I go in and I go, and mixes up all the color. And then I put this back in, and then I didn't touch it because I wanted to see if I could get tonal just easily by doing that. So I left them in until it reached the temperature that I wanted. Then when it reached the temperature that I wanted, I pulled it out again and put it in a bowl. And then I put in my citric acid. And I can't remember what I went to. Citric acid, I was actually testing the water, and I think I went to a 4 or 3 in acidity. So put your citric acid in it. Did my milk frother again to make sure that was all mixed in. And then I put this back in, and I just left it. I did not touch it. Some of it, floated to the top. I did not mess with it. I just let it do what it was going to do. And it really, yes, I did that. Okay, I did that. And then I had the brownie parts. Can you see the brownie parts? The darker parts. They're more like mustardy than gold. And did I tell you, I picked this color because, well, for one, it fits Linda. It fits Linda. If you know who Linda is, you're like, oh my God, you're freaking out. You're fangirling over this gold color right now. Because this is why I did this color. Number 1 for that. And number 2, because I will never make this color. This is not a goth color. I have no reason to make this color ever again. So I wanted to try, since we were doing tonals, I wanted to try colors that had no reason to make. No reason to make this at all. Nope. Probably will never make gold again. But if I do, I know how to do it. So it was really fun making colors. Because then I didn't care if it messed up all that. I was like, a big deal, whatever. So then I took it out. After the water cleared, I took it out. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to add more of the brown. Because it was looking kind of more brown than I wanted, because I wanted gold. And I was like, this is looking kind of a little bit. I did not think the 15% brown was going to be that much of a big deal. So when I went back, I wanted to add 1% bright yellow. So 1 gram of bright yellow went in the pot. And now that already had acid in it. So I just used my milk frother and mixed it up. And then lowered it in there. I probably added more acid later on, but I did not touch the skeins while they were in there. I did not stir them like the The dye projects I kept going in and stirring them, make sure because those were done in a pot, those were kettle dyed. Those were in a pot with plenty of water, plenty of movement, kept going in, making sure they were all covered. So this, I wanted to see if full immersion could still get me a tonal if I didn't mess with it. And I think I answered myself, yes, you're fine to just put it in there and not mess with it. And I really like how it came out. I'm excited to see how it works up and how it looks. I'm excited to work it up and see how it looks worked up, especially in garter, because that's going to be harder to see than stockinette. It's like I have more stockinette tonals in my future. Anyway, so I wanted to show you where we're going with Linda and maybe give you a better idea of who Linda is. So then, for Linda, I also did her sport weight because, of course I did, because my sport weight was here. This one was totally different. Now for this one, I used oxblood, which is not the same color as this. This is a very red berry-ish. I wanted more of like a scarlet-ish color. So Linda Sport was oxblood. We used oxblood from Dharma, and oh gosh, damn it! I'm erasing stuff from the board. I started with a 1%. The 1%, because this one I got to see if I could do a tonal using different colors. But this I wanted to see if I could do a tonal using the same color. Spoiler alert, no. I'm wondering if my 1% and 3% were not far enough away to do it. Or I also didn't let it dry all the way because I could see that it was not enough for me because I'm going to need more than that. So we started with 1 gram of oxblood, and like I said, I did it the same as we did the DK one. I let it sit in the water while it warmed up, and then I took it out, put the 1 gram in, frothed it, then put the skein in, let it go, let it come up more to temperature. Once it hit temperature, pulled the skein out, put the citric acid, frothed it, put the skein back in, didn't touch it. Water cleared. I pulled it out. It did not look very tonal at the 1%. I was like, what is this? So I went ahead and added the 3%, and then did the same thing. I think I did also add more acid for that one. And then when it was, so we did 1 gram, and then we did 3 grams. So we basically had a 4 gram oxblood, which is fine. I mean, I think I can see them, but the variations are so subtle that it's not enough for me. I need a little bit more drama, I guess, a little more. So I took some Twilight Gray, and this was just a guess because Twilight Gray is kind of a bluish gray. If you let it sit too long, it will definitely turn blue. Like if you make up a stock solution and let it sit, it will turn blue. It will no longer be Twilight Gray, it will be blue. Like gray blue. And it's okay. It's okay. I can certainly use a bluish gray. That's not a problem for me. But because I have not swatched Twilight Gray with anything, I decided I was going to put some gray in this. And you can see here, I went to low immersion. So what that means is I scooped out the water. I scooped out the water until this was like half submerged. It was like half in and half out. So once I did that, I pulled the skein out. I put my 0.5 gram, so 0.5% of Twilight Gray. And this was all just, I wish I had had swatches to tell me what that would have been, or to give me some idea. And that's why I only did a 0.5%. I probably could have gotten away with a 1%. Yeah, I totally could have. But then I'm not sure how tonal it would, because I thought blue and red is just going to make purple. So who cares? Red purple is still going to fit with this. So anyway, I did 0.5 grams on low immersion. And so that one, when I put the dye in and I put the skein in, she wasn't fully submerged, so it wasn't going to hit on every part of her. And I'm not sure you can even see any of it because there's so little light in here, and it's so not even dramatic, and I'm like wishing I had actually done more. So I think I'm hoping it'll be more noticeable in the final project. Probably not in pictures, but I'm sure in person it'll be different. You'll be able to tell. So I think we have a pretty cohesive color palette for Linda. I think it's pretty, we're really in the reds and yellows here. I think it looks great. And really fits Linda. So and these two don't look at all similar. Like, they really do not look similar at all. Which was what I was going for. I was going for like a scarlet. It's still not as scarlet as I would. Scarlet's kind of like under cherry, under fire engine red, under cherry. Then there's scarlet somewhere in there. Oh, I didn't say my bag. Stephen and Penelope. This is the bucket bag. And this is just what fingering weight Linda is sitting in, because I can fit my my notepad and my scale in here. So that's what that's been in. Okay, so you want to see Eleanor? You want to see DK Eleanor? Okay, so remember we were gonna go with tonal. We were gonna go with tonal for Eleanor, and then I had some feelings. And I wanted to dye something for me, because I've been dyeing for everything else, and I kept thinking of the tricolor that was blue and gray and black, and I really wanted it to be purple, green, and black. And I thought, Eleanor would be perfect for blue, green, and black. That'd be fitting for Eleanor. So I did a tricolor in blue, in green, purple, and black. And it's like an emerald green. It's almost a teal. It is almost a teal. And the purple is kind of a bluey. And the most amazing thing is I got this black to be tonal. Can you see this tonal black here? Do you see this? This is tonal black. That is some like white specks. Not white, but like lighter grays. So I'm ecstatic, because when I did the green first, and the green came out pretty tonal. Can you see that came out tonal? Right there. You can see that came out tonal. That strand right there. Tonal. That is not, My problem is that none of these are giving me like light head on. That's the problem. Can you see it better if I do this? Can you see that tonal? You can see that tonal, right? Like, those aren't shadows, that's tonal. So then I did the pink, and it came out really, really blue. It came out really blue. So I redid it with some pink to make it more purple, and then it came out a little bit pinky purple, but I don't care. And then the black came out so gorgeously tonal. I was terrified that the black was going to be my solid black and then it would look like crap. But you can see that, right? You can see that tonal. Can you see that tonal black? I hope you can. There it is. No, is that the blue coming through? I don't know. But anyway, all of it is tonal, and I'm so excited. So the reason I did this is because I need a shelf for me. I wanted one for me. I'm making all these, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with them when they're done. Sell them maybe? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe sell them at like we have craft fairs and stuff. I might be able to sell them. So anyway, I want to talk to you about how we did these colors, because first I did the green, and I think I haven't put up on the blog yet all the dye projects with how I dye the third skeins. So I mean, it's easier if you're dyeing more than one skein, but since I'm dyeing one skein at a time, I used my third pans again. And I just put a third end in the water. That's it. And then I put the other third end in the water. I let it go up a little bit more so that the black can over dye it. And then I put at the end, when we're doing the black, that goes in the pan like that. Okay. Get the gist of it? Okay. So let's go over the colors. And I gotta tell you, these did not match my swatches 100%. They were really kind of off. And I think it's because those are 100% superwash. And my swatches have nylon in them. And I'm telling you, nylon is magic. And I don't care. I know people disagree with me and say it's just superwash. But I'm telling you, nylon... I've dyed like the paracords, the nylon paracords, and they take dye like you would not believe. Like, it's amazing. And I think there's a difference between nylon and like superwash nylon and just regular superwash. There is a difference in how it takes color. And that is something I'm going to have to figure out. Okay, so for Eleanor, DK. We did these in thirds, right? Third. Green, 1%. So we had bright yellow at 18.75, Caribbean blue at 56.25, true black at 25%. So that gave us bright yellow, 18% gave us 0.06. The 56% gave us 0.19, and 25 gave us 0.08. So that's how we did the green. And like I said, the green did not come out. It was like a foresty, just a tiny hint of blue green, very like spruce, like a wintry tree. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of blue, not like like there are certain evergreen trees that are a little bit blue, and that's the color I wanted. And I got kind of a bit of a teal, which is okay. And I almost put a little bit more a little bit more yellow over it. I was gonna do the yellow like I did over here, but then I decided not to because it looked really good with the purple. So I was like, let's not mess it up. Let's just leave it as is. So the purple 1%, Caribbean blue 18.75 was 0.06, and you can see these are exactly the same. That's just how I picked them, maybe because they looked good together at those things. So 0.19, 0.08. Okay, so then after all this was done, the purple did not look purple. It looked blue. It looked kind of, it wasn't a terrible blue. It just, I like purple. I wanted purple. So the next day, since I had to redo parts of the shorts anyway, I was like, let's try to make this more purple. So I added 0.13, what does that say, CB? Because I'm ridiculous. This should say DM. Deep magenta. Okay. So, no. Wrong. I think I might have messed these up. Anyway, the point is, I don't remember how I got to 13. I'm thinking it had to do with the 0.6 to 19, but I was trying to get half and half, maybe. So it'd be half pink, half blue, right? That's where I think I was going. So I added 0.3 grams of deep magenta the next day. And that was fine. Okay, so on our last third, our black, I do blacks at 3%. So that was just 1 gram. 1 gram. And I think that might have been a little short. I'm not exactly sure if I'm doing, because they're side to side. Let me do this way. Because these are side to side, I'm not sure how is it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how even they are to the other two, you know what I mean? Like the green, the purple and the green are even to each other, right? And the blacks are even to each other. So what I'm saying is, surface area wise, I'm not sure. Because it's 2, it makes me want to doubt myself. Because I'm like, 2, there's 2 of them, so it makes me want to think double. But I think the saturation level is perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. And I know you can't see how tonal it is. I'll try to get some pictures on Instagram. But so it was fun to try a tonal using just the color. I mean, not really just the color, because I do make my own colors. So unless I'm making straight any of my CMYKs, they're going to have other colors in them. You know what I mean? Just as any color would. Even if you got, like, my oxblood is not just red. I'm sure there's other colors in there. So I'm not sure which way is better, because I did really get a good tonal on this one, and this only had, well, 3 colors in it. This one had 3. But then the black only had 1. And I don't know how that came out that way. That's amazing to me, how that came out as tonal as it did. Because I was wondering if I could make black tonal, and I'm ecstatic that I could. So, do you love DK Eleanor? I'm in love. I can't wait to do this. I'm actually going to do this is going to get done up this weekend, and then next weekend I'll do the DK weight Eleanor, and as soon as DK weight Linda, and as soon as I finish fingering weight Linda, I'm going to cast on sport weight Linda. So next weekend we'll have DK Linda done. So Linda will be done this month. So she'll come out next month. I'll pick a whatever day doesn't have whatever episode doesn't have a topic, and we'll do what we're doing next week is we're comparing all of the Eleanors. So that will be super fun. I do have one thing to I'm not sure if I'm making more work for myself or not, but I want to talk about this because these are the Eleanors, right? We have worsted, then we have DK, and then we have sport, right? I can see kind of a cohesive color thing happening here. And then we have this. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to undo 30 grams of this. And I'm going to make her Maya, What do you think of that? Which means Maya's mostly done. She just needs Sport and DK. Okay? So then we take the one that was gonna be Maya. Are you okay? Are you hot? We take the skein that was gonna be Maya. And see how it's creamy? Yellowy. What would happen if I put some bloom on this? Do you know what would happen? This yellow would go green. Those pink spots would go purple. And those gray spots would go darker blue. So I'm thinking of doing like, I don't know, maybe a 0.5% blue, Caribbean blue on this, and see what happens. And then go from there. And then this will be in here. What do you think of that? Do you think, I mean, I know it's more work for me. I don't care because it's Eleanor. I love Eleanor. I'll make a million Eleanors. But I'm thinking then when I release Eleanor pattern, I won't put that one in there because I've really been thinking. Now we only have one Eleanor that isn't green. And if I can make her green, that's awesome, right? I don't need another Eleanor. I mean, I don't need another Eleanor. I already have the measurements off of that Eleanor, which is all I need. I don't need to have a picture of her in the pattern. I've got plenty of pictures for Eleanor. So actually I'm thinking I probably just won't do her at all. I'll just leave that skein in case we need it for third series. And I will take this off, 30 grams off. I think 30 or 40, right? And put that on here. So that we'll still have the measurements for her and everything else, but I think she'll look better on there. So that's my new plan. We're not even going to go with a fingering Eleanor because we already did. Anyway, Eleanor will be released next week, and our next week's episode is going to talk all about her. So now, before we go, I have some squishy mail things. The first one is, I told you I got a new planner. Do you follow Thoughts of Dog? This is a Thoughts of Dog planner. I follow Thoughts of Dog, which is, it's a 16 month. It starts in September of this month, so you have some time. And I like this because, like I said, I hate having my two planners together. First of all, this is $20 on Amazon, so it's kind of expensive. I mean, my other ones were $1 each, so it's quite a bit more expensive than I paid last time. So it goes from this September to December 22. Okay, so like a year and a half. And then you have the weekly. So I just cordon them off with paper clips to be where I am. So I like this because then I can have, and then at the back, of course, it has some planning for next year. It's got 2023, and then it's got a whole note section. So I'm gonna, on the first page, it's gonna be our upcoming episodes, starting with whatever September is. So I'm sure you can get other ones like that, but I really like the Thoughts of Dog, and they it's something I follow. They're on Instagram and Facebook, and they make me like smile a lot because it's all dog stuff. And I think they're also the We Rate Dogs or something, but I wanted to have something that would kind of make me smile. And look, it fits my little legal pad. My little legal pad one. So I can carry them all around. I don't have to. I'm really excited about that. I'm sure you could find that type of thing somewhere else. Like, it doesn't have to be a Thoughts of Dog one. But I really liked having everything together. Okay, the other thing I'm going to talk about is my Dyer supplier came. And I want to talk about how these skeins are different because I have not looked at them yet. So this is what my thing said before. Okay. Superwash Sport Merino sample 028 100% superwash merino, Italian sourcing, mulesing free, sport weight, 328 yards, 100 skeins, 2-ply. And I already told you this is not a 2-ply, it was a 3-ply. So I was like, these aren't 2-ply, and those were two of the same ones I used in my shorts. This is 50 grams left of 56 grams. So this says Malvinas, Malvinas, Malvinas Superwash Sport, DSO 66, 100% fine Falkland Merino, South American sourced, Italian spun, mulesing free, fingering weight, but 328 yards, 100 grams skeins, 3-ply. Sounds like exactly what I got here, right? Because remember, I'm like, these aren't 2-ply, these are 3-ply. So now, can you give me the end? Here's our end. I want to see if these are... Not entirely sure. This feels way softer. Smells different. It smells like horses, and it's thicker. This is thicker. I don't think you're going to be able to tell that it's thicker. But I can tell. This is the one I had, and this is the new one. So I think you can tell the new one is plumper. That is just a hair thicker. It is plumper. It feels, whoops. What the ever-loving, okay. It does smell like barnyard. Oh, it does not smell as woolly as this. This is like, if you could bottle this smell, I would buy it for like hundreds of dollars. I'm not even kidding you. This is like my favorite smell in the world. This is like barnyard. It's not the same. You know what, though? It's plumper, and I might like it better. But we're going to, remember, as soon as fingering weight Linda is done, fingering weight Linda is done in this. So once I work up fingering weight Linda, I can compare her to the shorts. So we'll see. So this is going to have to be a top. I can't mix this in with that other. It's totally different. So I'm going to rehank this and dye it black. And then when I redo the shorts, it'll be done to fix the shorts, and then I'll make a top out of the rest of it. So it's not the same. So the fact that it's not the same and that my other stuff was mislabeled as 2-ply, when it was 3-ply, along with the issues I had of getting it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they said it was in stock, and then it wasn't in stock, and then it was. I have reservations about using Dyer Supplier as a supplier for my dyeing. Because, like I said, Wool to Dye For does not have those issues. Well, Andy will, if you give them your email, they will keep you up to date with the containers and with what's coming in. And one time, one of the boxes that was supposed to be cleared, they cleared a different box. So he was like, crap, that box is not coming. We're getting this box. So, because I have to clear customs. But, so while I do like the yardage of the 3-8, I'm not sure I'm going to get it from Dyer Supplier. I'm going to have to look into other. I'm also not crazy about Knit Picks. The DK weights I did on Knit Picks. I'm not crazy about it because the skeins got real tangled because it only has, there's only 2 figure-8 ties, and it needs at least 3 or 4 figure-8 ties, which Wool to Die For. I never have to put in extra figure-8 ties on the Wool to Die For. I just love Wool to Die For. That must just be my problem. But I'm not sure. I don't think they had had the yardage that I wanted, which is why I went to Dire Supplier. Or maybe I didn't want 10. Whatever, doesn't matter. But I'm thinking, these are Knit Picks. The DKs are Knit Picks. If they work up really good, because I can't get merino. This is 100% superwash merino. I can't get 100% superwash merino for this price at this yardage. Actually, I don't think Wool to Die For had their 100% superwash merino had the 231 yardage, which I didn't want. I want the 246, and I can get that, I think, in a BFL. So I gotta decide what DK weights I'm gonna do, but I'm set on the yardage. Don't try to change my mind. I'm set on the yardages of the Sport and the DK. I want those bigger yardages. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get them because I don't think I can rely on Dire Supplier, which is sad. But they do have, when they have specials, like new yarns, like where they're probably going to sell out. Like I got some marled sock that I haven't played with, and I got like 5 bags of that. But they do have some things like that will sell out, that won't come back. So when you do find stuff like that, I do plan on, snatching those up to use. Maybe that'll be like I said, for certain, for different seasons, I'm going to work up a special colorway on a base, and just when they're gone, they're gone. I'll probably do that. Maybe that's where I'll source them from, will be from Dire Supplier, because they do have some cool stuff. But it's not always in stock, which is the problem for my stocking, that I'm gonna need stuff in stock. So for that kind of stuff, I don't think I can rely on them. But for the new stuff that will be gone, we could do that. We could do some fun stuff there, I think. Anyway, I think that's all I have before my camera overheats and dies again. And I'm hot again, too. So I'm going to get in and finish Linda. I'm going to finish Linda tonight. Start cast on Sport Weight tomorrow. So Thursday, Friday, we'll work on Sport. And then we'll work on Eleanor this weekend. And then we'll do DK Linda, the next one. And we'll do Sport Weight Sport Weight Linda as soon as I finish fingering weight, and then I'll start working in Dana, because we got to get started on Dana. I'm going to leave fingering this one to the end because we have next week's Eleanor episode that I want to talk about her, and plus Maya's last, so that can wait till the end, to the very end. So I'll get started on Dana if we have any time, which I probably can start on at least fingering weight Dana after Sport Weight Linda. Probably do that. And then if I have time, maybe I'll work up those shorts in the other Sport Weight. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm hot. I'm going to get the heck out of here. I hope you have a great weekend. And it's supposed to rain today for us. It's going to rain and rain the rest of the week. So I'm done dyeing this week. I got 2 days in. Didn't get any swatches done, so I still got to make sure that now that we're winding down, this is great because I will have time to schedule in dyeing my swatches, which will be great because it's so much fun. It is so much fun. It's not, but if you put on music, it's tolerable, I guess. And you got to get out here early before it's like 100 degrees. But I mean, I can have the fan going. I can't have the fan going while we're recording. She can hear it, but anyway. There they go again. Okay. That's all I have for you. So I'll see you next week for Eleanor. We'll go over all the Eleanors. We'll talk about all their differences, the differences in size and stuff like that. And then pattern will release. And I'm really excited to see you guys make some. I hope you'll want to make my triangles, my bias triangles. Anyway, signing off. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. I will see you next week. Bye.